reforms.
Okay. So, yes, Rasik, what we have talked about today in the committee is basically on the civil service reform. So, what used to be the Fiji Public Service Commission will now become the Ministry for Civil Service, right? And what that means is that we had the old belief that once you enter the civil service, you're there for life. It's like a life guarantee, life insurance. Whether you perform or not, you just hang in there until you retire, and then you get your pension. That's not all going to change, because all the recruitments will now be, that includes the new staff and also the old staff who have been there. They'll be offered new contracts as part of the reform. So it will be a contractual system. The duration is still being worked out. We don't know whether it's going to be 3 years, 5 years, but I think ideally it will be 3 years. So everybody will be recruited on merit. So first thing we will do, as per the submission today, is all will be merit-based assessment. So it won't be like, people call you and say that it's now whom you know kind of situation. If you know the person, you get recruited. It's not there. It's no longer that system. It was never supposed to be like that, but it used to happen that senior civil servants would just recruit their own family members, put them in the department as informal staff, and then suddenly promote them to senior levels. Those things are all going to stop. What we'll have now is we'll have actual merit-based recruitment. So if you're the best man for the job, you get it, and then you always have to be performing at your optimum level, because the next guy just below you can always overtake you, because if he performs better. It's like the private sector. I've been a lawyer, as you know, for years, and in the private sector, you just can't be guaranteed of your job that you're there and you can do whatever you want. Nobody will check you out. In the civil service, that used to be the attitude. But now when we have the private sector kind of situation in the civil service, people will be performing. All of us, you, me, all of us have had complaints with civil service. You go there, it takes them good few minutes to get off their chair and come to save you, and they'll be having tea and they'll be having long lunches. Everybody has complaints. Now with the reform, this is what the government has been arguing for a long time. Let's have the reforms, let's have the best people in the job. Let's have the merit-based system. Let's have the discipline system in there. Let's have the policy, the training. If somebody is there and he can perform, but it's not been trained adequately, the department will train him or her, and allow him to perform the optimum, the best level. If we find that the person is probably breached the civil service code, hasn't performed well, is not capable, hasn't the aptitude or the attitude, then he'll be replaced. New person comes in. What that ensures is the best service we will deliver to the people. So when you go to the hospital, when you go to the Minister of Finance, you don't want a person who just doesn't know how to save you just because he's been there for years. We want the best guy who will save you. So that's the basic principle behind these reforms.
So Ashneel, does that mean that those who are currently in the civil service,
yes,
and when these new procedures and new criteria kick in, are there possibilities of them losing their job if they don't qualify on merit?
Not possibility. The possibilities are endless. But what could happen is everyone will be asked to reapply, right? Like this is something that's not confirmed. It's still being worked out. Like probably there's few options. We'll let the people who are in there phase them out, like retire. They'll slowly retire off, or we'll advertise again for the position. So if somebody is, for example, a Deputy Secretary of Finance, and he's been there just because of his experience, and there's somebody who's a better candidate, they apply, and of course his experience will be counted in there, his qualification will be counted in there. So not necessarily lose their job. There's no need to panic that you'll be losing the job, but maybe a better person can replace you in that position while you transfer to the other. That's one option. Of course, the drastic option is to, if somebody has been there without any merit and possibly by nepotism, then he goes home and somebody else replaces him. Now, the bottom line that we want to ensure is not to kill somebody's livelihood, not to put people on the streets, but the service delivery. That has been the hallmark of the Fiji First government. No? Service delivery, we want that to happen. So if we have to transfer some people around, we have to reshuffle. Reshuffles happen everywhere. Put the best guy in there. Of course, when you go to the hospital, you don't want to see by the most experienced one. You want to see the most qualified one. Qualification and experience both go hand in hand.
Exactly.
So this is something that has to be balanced out. It's still in the process of being reformed.
Is there any time frame on as to when this contractual stuff will roll?
Well, the process started in 2014 with the help of the World Bank.